Glad to have you along for the ride here on this edition of Sports 360 AZ. Devon Henry here, taking you across the world of sports in the great state of Arizona, alongside our great storytellers here at Sports 360 AZ. We're brought to you as always by Desert Financial Credit Union, taking care of you, taking care of your business. That is Desert Financial Credit Union. We appreciate Desert Financial Credit Union for their support across the year here for all of our storytellers at Sports 360 AZ. On the way, Eliav Gabay is riding along with the Phoenix Mercury as they open up the 2023 season last week. His story's looking into a season of newness, yet familiarity with the Mercury this year. We'll be joined by Lance Fight from Visit Mesa as over 300 para-athletes from across the world flocked to the Valley to take part in this year's Desert Challenge Games in Mesa for adaptive athletics. Jordan Spurgeon has our latest edition of Starting the Conversation with Jamison Hill, a pitcher with the Arizona Diamondbacks Double-A affiliate, the Amarillo Sod Poodles. A deep conversation on opening doors around mental health as he continues his journey into the big leagues. And with the Indianapolis 500 this weekend, we look at a special Arizona connection to a 20-year-old partaking in his family tradition. All that on the way, but we kick things off in Chandler, Arizona at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, the home of drag racing in the Valley for the past 4 decades. With only one more race remaining on its official schedule for local racers and enthusiasts to come put their beloved cars on the drag strip, uncertainty looms over the historic venue that's been home to generations of families sharing their love for speed and their community.
It's calming. It just makes me not worry about anything else. It clears my mind.
From 5-year-olds to longtime Medicare members, you can find all walks of life at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. It's been 4 decades of drag racing at the facility for pros and hobbyists alike.
Anybody can do it. It's like any sport. It's repetitiveness makes you better at it, and the more seat time you have, the better you're going to get.
Jerry Duffy has been drag racing for 60 years and drove up from Tucson to take part in what could be some of the final races at Wild Horse. The Wild Horse Pass Development Authority announced last March that the track would be demolished as part of a 3,300-acre development and possible I-10 expansion beginning as early as February 2023. But there's been nothing but radio silence on the future of the track ever since.
It's got a lot of history, and they've managed to have an actual event here for a number of years, and so it brings in a pretty good crowd. And it's certainly a family sport. You see a lot of people out here, their kids, wives, mothers, fathers, and they just come out and have a good time on a Saturday night.
I've actually been coming out here when this was formerly Firebird Raceway since I was 2 weeks old. My dad did it then, and I've just grown up drag racing my whole life. My daughter's the 3rd generation drag racer in our family at the same racetrack. She's a daddy's girl and just eats, sleeps, and dreams drag racing.
Kids who can't even earn their driver's license yet are more than comfortable going 85 miles per hour down the strip. Mallory Dolzel is a 7th grader at Castile High School and has raced for nearly half of her life, with wins at 5 different drag strips across the western region. And it's just 2 simple things that keep her coming back.
The people. And turning on wind lights.
She has no fear. She just hopped in and first pass on the track, she was like 898, wide open. But at the end of the track, she was John Force. She couldn't breathe and was that was so fast, and just couldn't wipe a smile off her face. It's like number 1 on my life, in my life besides my family, because drag racers are my family also, you know what I mean? My family's gotten bigger because I consider a lot of them family also.
June 17th is the final scheduled race at the drag strip. After that, no one knows what will become of this historic venue. There is some hope that the track will live for at least 1 more year, though, with Travis Pastrana's Nitro Cross Series announcing they will race on the facility's dirt track this November.
Eliav Gabay here with the Atlantic's Jamel Hill for a very special first edition of this year's Mercury Minute. Jamel, thank you for joining us. But right off the bat, we know Brittany Griner is the main storyline What does she add to this team, not only on the court, but off the court, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing she may add for them on the court is inspiration. And I know, obviously, we know what an offensive force she is. We know what a defender that she is. But I think every team sometimes needs a singular mission. And she's given them a singular mission in the fact that with her return, it's obviously an emotional lift, and it gives them an opportunity to play for something bigger than what they would normally play for.
Getting back into it, just practicing every day, going hard, my teammates believing in me, just supporting me, that means a lot. There's little stepping stones in each one. It could be small, it could be big, but each one matters. And, tonight was quick, and, I'll go home after all this and think about it and talk to my wife about it and all that. And it's just all healing and, getting me to a better place.
Another storyline, of course, is Diana Taurasi's 19th season. How impressive is what she is doing every single year to come back?
She's a force of nature, one of the greatest to ever play the game. And so every year that you see Diana Taurasi, especially at this stage in her career, treated very specially because we don't know how long this is going to last. So every time I see her, it just kind of warms my heart because it feels like, okay, WNBA season is here because there's Diana Taurasi.
After the season, I took a couple months off to really think about what the next 2-3 years looks like, for me, for my family, for this organization. And I just felt like there was more in the tank. There was more work to be done personally. When you've been through this journey for a long time, you really have to look deep inside yourself and see if you still have the energy and the competitiveness to come back, and especially this season where it's 40 games. It's probably going to be one of the most grueling seasons, and I just really had to look in the mirror and see if I wanted to prepare like the only way I know how to do. And, once I made that decision, it was pretty easy.
And now speaking of this season for the Mercury, it's kind of all over the place. We don't know really what to make of this team. What, in your opinion, should be the expectations for this roster?
Well, I think the big advantage they have is that people are talking so much about the super teams, and they're not really talking about the Mercury. People are talking about BG and her return, of course, but there's not a lot of chatter about what this team can actually do. I think they should use that to their advantage, use it to fuel them to say, hey, we're actually in the rare position to be flying a little bit under the radar, and use that to fuel them throughout this season.
They're going to see a team that plays together. I think they're going to see a team that gives relentless effort and is committed to making things work and playing really hard. We're also going to play a little bit faster at times and also just, be maximizing BG. So they're going to see a lot of things, but they're going to see a team that's playing with real joy and also just here to entertain our fans and give a great performance.
The enemy is flanking.
Did someone say happy banking?
Who is that?
It's the Wizard's banker of House Desert Financial. Legend is, she helped him open up a checking account so good. Now he takes a spa day once a month.
In Elvish, it is called Gura Ninawi Siento.
What's next? Destroy some cursed jewelry?
Drink, sir.
Ooh, I shall not pass. Welcome to Happy Banking.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Bienvenidos. Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back. No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
We are
IBEW
Local 640.
Local 640.
let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York-style pizza. Oh, man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York-style Pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Custom ordering is at Santan Ford. Colors, wheels, trims, performance packages, and more. From the factory right to your driveway. And you can even track your custom Ford every step of the way.
We are Santan Ford.
The Desert Challenge Games are back in Mesa this week. Over 300 para-athletes from across the world all jumping into Mesa this week with Paralympic-style events. We are joined by the Director of Sports at Visit Mesa, Lance Fight. And this is an absolutely massive event, from the over 300 athletes to the coaches, the parents, the friends, the families, and of course all the volunteers who make an event like this possible. What does an event like this do, not just for the community and the Paralympic community, but just for the city of Mesa itself as well?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's one of those things that is close to our heart here in Mesa, that we get to showcase everything that Mesa has worked for to be prepared for athletes of any ability, parents of those athletes. We really get to showcase how much we've been trying to be better prepared, more equipped. And we get to flex all of that, and while also having just a phenomenal top tier Paralympic qualifying style event. And it takes over such a huge footprint of Mesa, you know, from aquatic centers to track and field to a high school to a college to the Broadway Rec Center. It just has such a huge footprint, and we love having it.
And this is an annual event every single year. And on top of that, it's not just like the competition dates at the end of the week. Practice starts at the beginning of the week. It's a week-long festival, if you will, going on in Mesa. What's kind of the goal for you guys, for the city, to continue bringing this kind of atmosphere and bringing this kind of event to Mesa every single year?
Like I said, this is one of only 3 like it in the world. So the fact that we host it here, we have a bar set years ago, and we try to raise that bar every year. So all planning aside, all committees aside, all financials aside, there is a very high bar set, and Mesa loves raising it every year. And as much as these questions sounded like, you know, I'm answering it from a Visit Mesa standpoint, anything you can do, you know, obviously it means a lot to us, but this is all about the athletes. As much as we love to have our hands in the mix and help out along the process, it literally is Arizona Disabled Sports baby. It is the World Series every year. This is the one event that they market for. We help them market for it. We help raise the funds. They help raise the funds. They build a village, a local operating committee. It's this thing that we love having, because it really does let us showcase everything we work towards as a destination, to have this and showcase that we can do it on such a large scale.
And it is across the world. We have people coming from across the world to participate in all the festivities going on, and including the University of Arizona. They bring a ton of athletes from their adaptive athletics program. How do you kind of see the world of adaptive athletics changing here in the state of Arizona? And of course, I'm sure, as you're interested in, Mesa as well.
Yeah, being a proud board member of Arizona Disabled Sports, I get to kind of get a firsthand view of what our local adaptive community needs. So then you put that, I partner with Move United a ton, and I learn from them on what other destinations are doing in the adaptive sports world. And then you can kind of, compare notes. What is maybe Seattle doing? Or what is Dallas doing? What is Florida doing in the adaptive communities? Mesa really has its grasp on being the only autism certified city in America. We've since springboarded off of that and spread that message to try to get other destinations to go with IBCCES and get their accreditation to be autism certified, because it really shows that your destination is prepared for parents and people on the spectrum, or parents who are traveling with those on the spectrum. We've since springboarded from that to try to be an all-out accessible destination, completely of any ability, disability, adaptability. Any chance I get to bring my adaptive sports world into it, to add an adaptive clinic to baseball championship. This last week, we added an adaptive golf clinic to the NAI Men's National Golf Championships that we're hosting. any chance I get to really flex our muscle and get our adaptive community involved into sports of any kind is just furthering our platform.
Man, such a fun event. Lance, thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out the Desert Challenge games all week long across the city of Mesa this week.
I'm here with Jameson Hill, right-handed pitcher, Arizona Diamondbacks organization, getting ready for Double-A ball. You got a taste of it last year with the Amarillo Sod Poodles, and we were talking a little bit off camera. Just having a good off season. First off, before we even get into all that, just you want to tell people a little bit about how you ended up here with the Diamondbacks.
All right, yeah. Jameson Hill from San Diego, California. Went to Fresno State. Certain things didn't happen the way I wanted to. Ended up not getting drafted, and getting opportunity for the Diamondbacks to call my agent and say, hey, does he want a chance? Does he want to play? And I kind of took that as my moment, as like, okay, this is time.
What was it like navigating that, knowing like, okay, I'm not drafted, I do get this call, but also realizing, okay, the reasoning is something that's out of my control? Like, what was that like for you?
That was always a dream of mine, was to get drafted. Obviously, the end goal is you want to play on the big field in front of all the people. At the end of the day, I'm still able to do what I wanted to do and get an opportunity to chase the actual dream, the big dream that I wanted to chase.
Your Instagram bio, I see you have the suicide prevention hotline number. What's the reasoning behind that? Did you lose somebody? Was it a struggle for you?
No, it was a pretty big struggle for me. I dealt with, especially in college, I dealt with a little depression. I can say for a fact that it's not that I like to keep things to myself. That is like a part of it, but I don't like to, in a sense, feel like I'm putting my problems on other people.
Right.
So when I got something going on, I try to find every way possible I can figure it out on my own. And it took some time to realize that I ended up figuring it out sometimes, but you're just going to go right back to where you started. So you need help. You need people in your life to support you. You need people that you can go to. Like, even if they don't know that you're that person for them, you should know.
Right.
Even if it's hey, can we FaceTime? Talk about whatever. They may not know what you're going through, but if you can vent to them and you feel comfortable, like you need that in your life. And that's something I didn't realize I needed until a couple years ago. And that helped me a lot, especially with the baseball thing. It made me not take every pitch so heavy. It made me not take every game so heavy. Like, we're going to have bad games. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have good days. We're going to have good games. We're going to have in between.
On the field, do you have like a mental health coach that you go to for that? Do you guys have it with the Diamondbacks, or kind of on your own that you like to go to?
So, one of the things I love about this organization is they have a mental performance team. Like, realizing that they cared about our mental health kind of blew my mind, because I never really heard of that.
Right, it's not part of the culture.
It's not part of the culture. During spring training, there's a mental performance session. So you go in there, and it's like, you basically kind of meditate, but your mind is there. Right. You're focused. You're trying to get ready for the day. It's like a little reset to get you locked in. You don't realize it, but when you're stressed out and you're doing something that takes a lot of your mental capacity, you forget to breathe. You forget to release that tension that you've been building up for however long it's been.
Right.
And so the one thing that we do when we do those mental performance things as every day is it's working on your breath, realizing how to focus that. Okay, my mind's wandering. Okay, all right, I'm back to where I need to be.
Right.
Just kind of centers you, it grounds you, and it works. And I think that it's an amazing tool because it works in every aspect of life. It doesn't just work on the baseball field.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage and up to $5,000 closing cost credit. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.
Spring into savings at Burge Mazda, Arizona's longest-standing family-owned Mazda dealer. You'll love the new 2023 Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive, now only $349 a month, or the Mazda CX-50 for only $389 a month. Always fun. The 2023 Mazda 3 hatchback for only $329 a month, and the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90 is now arriving at Burge Mazda. Burge Mazda, 50 years serving Arizona at Baseline and Country Club, or start your journey at burgemazda.com.
I've talked to you about Midwestern Meats for a moment. 25 years ago, I was their spokesperson. I got talking with Rod, and he said, well, let's run it back, Brad. Midwestern Meats, it's where I go. It's in Mesa, but they deliver to you. You just go to midwesternmeats.com. I mean, look at this. Whenever I'm getting ready for the barbecue, the vacation, or just stocking up and loading up, midwesternmeats.com. Midwesternmeats.com. Nothing quite like it. That's Midwestern Meats.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
Over 300,000 people will converge on Speedway, Indiana this weekend to indulge themselves in one of the greatest spectacles in all of sports, the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500. More than a dozen countries are currently represented in IndyCar, and even more so within their development program, Indy Next. One driver climbing up the ladder in that Indy Next program will not be running in the Indy 500 this year, but has dreams to in the future. Not only does his family share a special connection to this legendary race, but he also calls Arizona home. The dream of crossing the famed Yard of Bricks and bathing in the milk of Indianapolis has enticed the masses for more than a century. On the hunt for Indianapolis 500 glory is Scottsdale, Arizona's Jagger Jones, a 20-year-old partaking in the family tradition.
We're standing here on the Yard of Bricks at Indianapolis. I mean, for my family, this is a very sacred place. Racing the Indy 500 would just be so much, just with the legacy my family has and my grandpa winning, and me being able to even just attempt that. And my goal is to win an Indy 500. I mean, it's nothing easy, and but we're doing everything we can to kind of set myself up for that opportunity.
Jagger Jones. Jagger Jones. That's my new favorite racing name.
Jones carries one of the most legendary names in all of racing. His father PJ and Uncle Page found success in anything and everything on wheels. And everybody knows his grandfather,
Parnelli Jones, who has won the fastest Indianapolis 500-mile race ever run.
The 1963 Indy 500 champion and 1973 Baja 1000 champ. Even though Jagger was born in North Carolina, he moved to Scottsdale at a young age and calls Arizona home. His time at Notre Dame Prep and in the Valley Heat set the foundation of the path he has set forward onto.
The support I got from all my friends and family that live out on the West Coast and in Arizona, and from my school even, them somehow putting up with me missing a lot of high school. I was on the track team, varsity track team 4 years for Notre Dame, and kind of separating two lives there, and it really shaped who I am.
Whether a stock car or an open wheel car, Jagger Jones can battle for motorsports history as he dreams to fulfill what many have sought before him, kissing the bricks at one of the most sacred spots in sports.
I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've always known the Indy 500 was the biggest race there is. At least in our family, that's the #1 race. Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, is kind of a national holiday for us, just because the Indy 500. And I mean, I've dreamt about it and put a lot of time and work into achieving that one day. And I mean, it would just mean the world to me.
Thank you for joining us today. We have so many more stories to tell. Be sure to check out sports360az.com for more content from our entire team. As Brad always says, make it a great week.
The enemy is flanking.
Did someone say happy banking?
Who is that?
It's the Wizard's banker of House Desert Financial. Legend is, she helped him open up a checking account so good. Now he takes a spa day once a month.
In Elvish, it is called Gura Ninawi Siento.
What's next? Destroy some cursed jewelry?
Drink, sir.
I shall not pass. Welcome to happy banking.
We got them at Santan Ford. From the latest all-electrics to the most rugged 4x4s and America's best-selling truck.
We are Santan Ford.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I needed one of the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Our apprentices basically come from all walks of life. We get everybody from brand new graduated from high school, people looking for a midlife change of career.
It's been an absolute blast. I've had a ton of fun with a lot of really cool people.
You can always find work. You can do commercial, industrial, so I've done a little bit of everything.
If you have 3 years of experience or more, we need you now. Go to IBEW640.com.